So today's video is a combination of some upcycling, some slow stitching and making some jewellery. I'm starting off here with some silk, which is upcycled from a fabric swatch pack that was from an interior design company. It's absolutely gorgeous, and when you cut it and you rip it, you get an amazing frayed effect on the edge, and you do get an awful lot of strands of the silk coming off, which you can use for other projects. So I have been saving those in a little bag. It does ruche slightly as well when you tear it, so that's another advantage because you get a lovely texture throughout the piece. So I've cut some strips or torn some strips from this, and they're about, I'd probably say about 14 inches long. So what I'm going to do now is take these items out into the garden with my little slow stitched needle case. I have got a video where I made that, so I'll show you that. And I just made them into little rosettes. I've got another video showing how I make these little rosette flowers, so I will attach that onto this video too. You can see how many little threads have come off because I've had to snip some from the outside, but I am saving those threads for a future project. But I just love that torn look. I think it looks really cool. Now, I had a couple of ideas on how to mount these rosettes onto a necklace form. So when I saw the moon fabric hanging item that I made the other day, I suddenly thought, because I hadn't actually attached the frame to it yet, that would make a fantastic template. So I got myself some folder front. I think when my daughter was getting rid of some of her school items, I grabbed it from the front of one of those folders because I thought I didn't really want to throw that away, and it's going to make a fantastic base for a bib style necklace. Or you could even just use it as a template for future use, because I am going to use that frame and I'm going to sew it onto the project that I'm making at the moment. So I just drew around it in Sharpie and then cut it out and just rounded those edges so that it wasn't too sharp. Now, as it happens, I didn't end up using this, so I've got it to use for another project, or I might just use it for a template. But I thought this was actually a really good idea to have for future bib necklaces. So you could easily do this and use other fabrics or felts as a backing to these bib style rosette necklaces, or even, you know, just do some slow stitching. So you'll probably see this featured in a future video. So once I cut it out, I thought I'd save those other bits of plastic because they would be quite useful to make another template from something. Now, this stuff is so easy to cut. It's also very, very easy to punch, and I just punched a couple of holes and then used some upcycled chain and just added that chain with a jump ring on one side and a little lobster clasp on the other. And I did make myself some little holes because the intention was I was actually going to sew them onto the plastic blank. So you can see this is where I got my inspiration from, the moon necklace. And if you made it in fabric, you could easily do the same thing and just sew on the chain on the edge there. Now, obviously, I've not used this moon shape for this particular project, but I thought it might be useful for you to see how easily it would go onto fabric. I think it would look great. So you could use fabric or felt for the project too. Now, as it happens, to finish this one off, I decided to use this instead because I found this in my stash, and I'm trying to use some things up because I've got this use it or lose it mentality at the moment. I'm going to have a huge de-stash very soon. So this particular item here in my jewellery making collection is a set of pearls that I basically just strung onto some memory wire, so it retains its shape. I'm still not convinced that I've done the right thing, if I'm honest, but I wanted to use something up, and I absolutely adore the colour of these particular beads on there. With them being pearls, they have just such a lovely lustre, and I thought they went so beautifully with the silk fabric that I picked out. Now, also in my stash, I have all these old beads and old necklaces that people have given me over the years. I did get rid of a huge amount of stuff, but I still have a few that I kept because I just thought they were so pretty and I really love the colours. Now, this particular very long lariat style necklace really jumped out at me because of those purple tones in the beads, and I thought, oh, that's fantastic. I'll be able to repurpose some of those beads and some of the chain because it has a lovely bronze sort of vintagey style look to it. I thought this would work absolutely perfectly. So what I did do was just deconstruct some of that chain and then added it onto the memory wire end, which already had loops, and then decided to add the rosettes that I'd made out of the silk onto that. And all I had to do then was just choose some of the middles. Now, I picked out some crystal, a crystal bead, so that's dyed crystal, another polished crystal bead, and then I found this absolutely gorgeous piece of wood. I think must have been from another necklace, and I just thought, oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. It's very comfortable to wear, and I'm really pleased with the project, although I'm not entirely sure sure I made the right decision with the memory wire. I'm not sure I'd use that again. Maybe I would do it slightly differently next time, and I'd definitely consider making brooches out of these. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process, and if it has inspired you to do something similar, please do let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. See you soon. Bye.